Good morning, YouTube friends. This is Grumpy Old Ken, and this is number 25, and it's October. In case in future times we look back. This week should have been football week in sort of Derby and elsewhere. And the international matches means it's cancelled. So I thought I'd look back and see, what I was doing when I first went to football. I've been going to football for 60 odd years. Derby County, very proud of Derby County. Used to play at a place called the baseball ground. Now play at a thing called iPro. Very strange name, at the baseball ground. I stood in the boys' corner. Note the boys' corner they called it, not the boys and girls' corner. And we paid, I looked it up, and I think it was, let me just make sure. I am just looking, because that seems very strange. Yes, it is. 9p old money, 9p, I couldn't believe it. Work that out in modern money and you'll see what a bargain it was. As a matter of interest, people sitting down on the terrace, in those days of course they were standing and sitting. People sitting down, season ticket people, paid 4 and 6pence, and people standing up paid 2 shillings, again old money. My ticket now is around about £500 a year. And my wife comes as well, we both thoroughly enjoy it, but it's a different thing altogether nowadays. In the days when I'm talking about just after the war, no, a bit later, 1952-ish, it was very, very popular, but very rough and ready, to say the least. One of the Derby players from the Derby won the Cup in 1946, the only time they've ever won it. And one player only, Reg-Harrison, is still alive. He's 92. He's a local man, never made much money. He once told me that he was paid £10 a week. He was on what was called a slider. He wasn't. He was full time, but he wasn't in the first team, if you like, permanently. And he got paid £10 a week. His brother-in-law, he once told me, got more money than him at Royce's, Rolls-Royce. But happy days, certainly for us. When Derby got to the Cup finals, as a matter of interest, the tickets were 3 and 6pence to £2, just over £2, old money again. I think it's 17p, 3 and 6, is that right? To just over £2 in new money. I'm not very good at this maths lot when it comes to what do they call it? I've forgotten, metric. Let's get it right, metric. Nowadays, lots and lots of foreign players, transfer fees. I've an idea Rooney receives £240,000 a week. Certainly some of them do, and I've an idea Mr. Rooney does as well. And they say Reg-Harrison got £10 a week. Heck of a lot of foreign players nowadays. Derby County's in the Division 2, second year, what they call a championship. The Premiership, the Premier Division, is over about 35% foreign players. Times change, obviously, and today I'm particularly interested in how things have changed. What else changed? Years ago, of course, no floodlights. You kicked off reasonably early, around about 2 o'clock, because it was dark by about 4:30. I collected, with many other youngsters, autographs after the match, in the dark, quite often in the rain. We stood patiently, and the players came out and signed for us. It was very much a traditional thing. In fact, Derby's a traditional town. We get very good attendances, nearly 30,000 a week. Derby County's just got, for the first time in many years, an English owner, which is very unusual in itself, certainly at the top level. What else has changed? I used to take a football rattle, and I think they called it an ARP rattle? A wooden thing that you swung around your head. I can remember it quite well. I wonder what happened. As a matter of interest, are you like me in that you've got many things from your past and now you don't know where they are? Can you think of any? My rattle, I certainly lost 1 or 2 toys. Lots of things, really. Time moves on. What else? Saturday afternoon. It was very much a Saturday afternoon working class game. Derby County originated in round about 1880. Exactly when, I've forgotten. The people that were playing were very much heroes to us all. Can I just show you that? Derby County on Saturday should have played Brentford. Sorry, they did play Brentford the last game before the internationals. And one of the men playing for Brentford was a very famous man called Tommy Lawton. Tommy Lawton, I don't know how much he earned, but at the end of his life, he was charged with shoplifting. He had very little money. They were working class heroes, say, compared with now. But that, I know it's back to front, I do know, but that is the autograph album of mine from those days. And on that page, if you look very, very carefully, Tommy Lawton is on there. Very, very famous man. Also in my autograph album, people like Wilf-Mannion, Len Shackleton, Nat-Lofthouse. Very famous. Interestingly enough, I didn't realise, of course, how famous they were, but they're our heroes, very much so. Our heroes now in the top division tend to be, as I say, people from foreign countries. Very, very good players. What else do we remember from years on? Some hooliganism. The old ground that we played in, we moved a year or 2 ago. I can remember people throwing at the police. I can remember the horseback police on the horses coming onto the pitch. I can remember people rolling ball bearings on the road outside under the feet of police. That's not, yes, it's long enough. People weren't the angels that they make out to be, in years gone by. Very little hooliganism now, it's very well policed. Everyone sits down now, of course, in the top divisions. Then a days, it was only the people with the money that sat down. In fact, lots of people would still rather sit down, to be honest. How are we doing for time? Yeah, what else has changed? Sitting down. A quick look. Life has changed, of course. The days I'm talking about, I'd be about 12. 10, 11, 12, 13. My mother died when I was 13. And I would be watching the football then on the Saturday. 9p. Used to stay sometimes at an uncle and aunt's house while we were doing it. The changes are, you know, quite something. Ground called an iPro. Across the front of the football shirts it says "Just Eat." What a strange thing to advertise on a football shirt. Yeah, not always changed for the better. Derby's only ever won the cup the once in 1946. As I say, the only person left now is Reg, who still comes to the match. I can see him from where I sit. Long may he continue. Lovely fella. Met him quite a lot. Very unassuming. Made very little money. Sit there. Police horses I remember. The matches I remember. Then European football came in, and years afterwards Derby occasionally qualified. Nowadays they are striving to go back with the elite in the Premiership. Hopefully next year might be the year. You never know. We were very much elitist. With the elite in the football in Derby those days. Not so much now. But maybe, as I say, the day will come. For many years, English football led, like in many other things. And then the Hungarians came 1953, or was it 54? And beat England for the first time. And that seemed to be the decline. But we are quite fanatical in Derby. It's a football town. It's a thing you're brought up with. As I say, I stood in the boys' corner, one of the small ones, but with other lads it wasn't too bad. 9p. What would 9p buy you now, and what would 9p in those days be worth now? My ticket, as I say, £500. £500 for my wife, roughly. Times they are changing. Yeah, happy days again. Have a nice week.